After an accident, many injured people hesitate to call a lawyer because they say, I'm just not the suing type. But hiring an attorney isn't always about filing a lawsuit often. It's simply about protecting yourself and getting guidance during a stressful time. Joining us today is David Greene from Greene and Phillips Injury Lawyers to explain. David, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So is that something you hear a lot, people saying, I'm just not the suing type?
You know, we hear that often. Folks will make the phone call. We'll get on the phone with them. They'll start saying, well, yeah, I want you to know I'm not the suing type, but I feel like I've been done wrong. Yeah. And so what's happened is insurance companies and what we call that side, they're our friends. We're not against them at all. But the side that's the insurance company sort of put this information out there. Well, you know, you shouldn't sue people because that may be wrong. But the truth is, the right thing to do is to make sure you make a claim, and just because you get Greene and Phillips involved does not mean you're suing anyone. As a matter of fact, you're leveling that playing field to make sure you get paid properly.
Well, let me ask you more about that. So what does hiring a personal injury attorney really mean? What are the steps that help them in that process? Well,
what it does is it hires someone who knows the rules. And you may not know the rules. You talk to an insurance adjuster and they say, I want to take a statement, or I want to do this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. And quite frankly, you may not have to do that. And it may be something that can really hurt your case. So you need someone that knows the rules, knows which boxes to check, and what information they should have and what information they shouldn't have.
So there's a couple people involved in the process, right? There's possibly the injury attorney, there's the insurance company, but there's also the human on the other side. And that's another factor that people are like, well, I don't really want to hurt that person.
Sure.
Tell us about that thought.
Absolutely. If Greene and Phillips is involved in a case, if we're at court or involved in it all, there will be insurance on the other side. Every case we take, we're going to make sure there's insurance somewhere. We're not going after an individual. I remember one time many years ago I went after an individual. Very bad case, not something I want to go too much into right now, but it was a horrible case. And if I told the facts, folks would say, yeah, you should have gone after that person. But we don't do that. Well, we put cases together against the insurance company for the other driver, or your uninsured motorist coverage, or any other coverage that may be out there that you may not know that you have.
It's not you against the person, you're saying it's you against the insurance.
Always.
Okay.
If we're involved, that's always the case.
What are some mistakes people may make if they try to just, I'm going to handle this on my own? Well,
folks start reading online and they start reading all these different things of how to do things, or how to handle my own case, or how not to have, don't have a lawyer involved. Do it yourself. Save money. You can destroy your case by doing it yourself and reading online. You need to sit down and talk to a lawyer, like the lawyers at Greene and Phillips. It would be almost like going online and searching, how do I treat my heart pain, or how do I treat this broken arm? You don't want to get into that yourself for obvious reasons, and you certainly don't want to represent yourself because you can really harm yourself.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about the emotional and the physical reasons why this comes into play. Of course, there is a financial element too. You mentioned that in your last statement. People think, well, I can save money without an attorney. Would you argue that, in fact, the opposite is true? They could make more money with an attorney on their side?
You're going to get more money if you have a lawyer involved, even after the lawyer is paid. There's insurance research from several years ago that even after the lawyer is paid, the client on average gets 3.5 times more money than you would have gotten before having anybody involved. So it's pretty clear you're going to get more money. There are things we can do to get your bills down. There's things we can do to get other coverages that will actually pay, that will make a huge difference. Talk to a lawyer. You don't have to talk to us, but you need to talk to someone.
How can they talk to you if they choose to do so?
It's very simple. You can come by either location of Greene and Phillips, Mobile or Birmingham, or go to greenphillips.com and we'll get right back in touch with you.
All right, we'll have that contact information online. David, thank you so much.